Hello, everyone. I'm the okayest bassist, and this is the BASSics Volume 26. Uh, I, he looks very pensive, but I believe my already named in the title special guest is ready. If he's not, well, oh well. It's Jonny Dibble. Hello, sir.
Hey, hello everybody. First of all, can you hear me okay?
I hear you fine. I don't know. The entire last stream I did, apparently everyone said the mic was low. I watched the recording, it was super low. I was showing on my end that everything was like pegged. I showed I was redlining. So I don't know. I think the interface just didn't connect, and I think it was like the iPad microphone trying to do what it could. I don't know.
Trying to do its best. But thank you so much for having me on this last minute. I realized, oh yeah, wait, I am free at this mad hour for me here in the
Wow.
UK. So
That's it.
yeah,
The mad hour of what? 10? 11?
11 p.m.
Wow. I
Way
mean,
past my bedtime.
that's like 3 hours before, we were going to bed at Nam. So,
This is true. I was there pulling my hair out of my laptop, like
yeah, that's what happened with me. I was
full head of hair beforehand, but
right before Nam, then there it went.
and then it's all gone. I can see all the boys are in the chat
I was
watching
about to say,
along.
speaking of Nam, we have almost everyone from the base house in the chat.
Hey y'all, hope we're doing good today. But yeah, I'm a witness now. This Mentos drink I'm about to consume in
I
front of your
wonder if
viewing
it does
pleasure.
the same thing with the cola if you mix that as it does when you drop them in. Just
Explodes everywhere.
immediate chemical reaction. That would be funny. Like they just put the exact same whatever it is that's in a drink. So it's like you don't have to drop things, just pour it. You're good.
No, no, no. A lovely liquidy explosion. That was actually delish. Very nice. But yeah, let's move on to bass stuff. I actually had a big gig today.
There you go.
It was great. I
It
don't
was
know how
over
many.
before 11 o'clock at night. What kind of gig
Yeah.
was it?
Well, it was a
Wedding?
festival.
Oh,
Festival.
okay.
So it was, yeah, we played at like 1 p.m. So like lunchtime, which was great, so fun. First time I can tick it off the list playing on a stage with pyrotechnics. It was so good. Hot.
Surprising
But
at
good.
all, or
It was surprising because I didn't think that they were going to do it because we were like the second band on the stage, and I saw in the first band they had like a cannon, like air go off. That's a cannon, by the way. They
oh,
had air
so it was
cannons
an
go off.
AC/DC cover band. That's the only that and William Tell's 1812 Overture. The only things I know written with canon as part of it.
um, yeah, so that went off, and then we were like, "Is that? Are they going to do that for us?" And then it was like pyro, it was confetti, it was great, so much fun, and we didn't know it was going to happen until the heat was literally in our face, like whoa,
Yeah,
so,
I went
pretty
to a
crazy.
Disturbed concert, and during the playing of The Sound of Silence, they have like a jet of flame that shoots out of the grand piano.
Oi.
And my friend and I who went were 3 seats behind the sound booth in the center. So, like, it was even out in the audio. All I could think is, how is the guy playing piano not dead? Because I
Yeah,
can feel it 50 feet away.
he has got a face made of leather, no doubt. Now, just absolutely melted on.
No, no eyebrows
No, no,
gone.
no. Um, I went to see Fall Out Boy um, late last year, and Pete Wentz, he has got on one of his signature basses, he's got a flamethrower bass, which is pretty much like useless. He's got this massive tank on the back, and he's just there like, like absolutely
I'm going
blasting the
to
crowd.
hit a note and then shoot fire.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's not even playing. He's just like, I just have to, because he's got to push the button to ignite it. So
Yeah.
he's not playing whilst doing
I
that. He's
mean, who's going to rush the stage to prove he's not playing? He's got a flamethrower.
exactly, exactly. That is ultimate power. But yeah, what what do we want to talk about? Bass-related stuff today.
And whatever you would like. I have gotten to. I did a gig. Yeah, we'll call that. The last 2 weeks I've gotten to play at church because the actual bassist wasn't there, so they let me fill in.
Hell yeah! And how did it go?
Interestingly, I mean, I'm okay, so it went okay.
It went all right.
What's really fun is both weeks, because I wasn't doing acoustic guitar, we didn't have a rhythm section. We had piano, keyboard, drums, bass. Today we didn't have drums because the drummer, who's our musical director, isn't there. He's on vacation. So it was piano, keyboard, and me on bass. So I'm like five singers. So it was a good time.
Wow. Should have whipped out the acoustic bass then and start like hitting that thing
Yeah, I
to
don't have one.
get the beats. Well, now any excuse, mate. But yeah, I was so rude, by the way. I jumped in here and I didn't even ask how you were. I haven't seen you or spoke to you in kind of in the flesh.
Well, yeah, in
Since
the flesh through the screen,
yes, well, live
face to
talking.
face.
Exactly. Yeah. Technically, since January.
Yeah.
How have you been since then?
Fine. Life happens and stuff happens, but still here.
It do be happening. Good,
Yeah.
good. And I'm glad that you're
This
persisting with this.
happened.
Oh
So,
yes,
yeah,
there it is.
the
Yeah.
fancy headstock.
Mm.
Yeah. So thoughts of this versus the shorter scalings of the Harley Benton. I'm gonna guess the Harley Benton wins.
I've not played the Harley Benton. Not had it.
Oh, I saw
I know-
when I saw you and Chris talking about it, I figured maybe you had tried one out.
No, Chris has just bought one actually, so his should be
Which one
arriving.
did he get?
He
Go for
bought the
flip flop.
No, that would have been mine. He went for the green one, which I think Patrick Hunt has just done a review of. He bought a B stock one, so it's
Yeah.
slightly cheaper, and yeah, it should be arriving this week, I think. So hopefully we get to hear it. I'm hoping he can bring it with him when he's coming to see me later in the month, because we live a couple of hours away from each other. When he
That's
comes
just
down,
an afternoon drive in the Midwest of the United States. That's
yeah, it's like 4 hours away, and to you guys, you're like, oh, that's nothing. I'll see you in a minute.
that's a day trip. That's
Somehow you guys time travel, and off you go. You've magicked
well,
up
I mean,
more
we do
hours.
have multiple time zones in the country, so
I'm so sorry. I've just pulled out my cable for my headphones.
there you go.
There we go. So I
You
know
didn't need to hear what I said. It didn't matter.
I'll just unplug
This
it
is
the
my
whole time.
mute.
Oh, it's come undone. Sorry. No, but yeah, basically,
Now
it's
we
too far away.
now we just need you and Chris to manage the trip July.
Oh right, yeah.
Just it'll be
Just
fine.
that's fine. It's no distance at all.
Yeah.
You
or
guys should
cost.
be like, that's a little holiday.
I mean, it's a 5 hour drive for me. It's fine.
Yeah, nothing.
27 hour flight for you. Same thing.
But when I was in America in last October and doing some driving, that was really surreal because we instantly understood it because all of the driving felt like nothing. Like we'd been driving for hours and we were like, oh, that was actually really easy because we're all driving with shift, and like the roads are so windy and smaller that you kind of you're like this the whole time.
Yeah.
Whereas I felt like in the States it was just like,
Well, you
like
also
that. There we
have
go.
subconsciously that there's no high speed rail, so there's only one option.
Yeah.
You're not flying because you're still gonna have to drive hours to get from the airport to wherever you're wanting to go anyway. So
You just learn to accept it and take it on the chin. It's nice.
pretty much.
Yeah, I want to say well done and congrats for keeping this up. I love tuning in. Often if I'm working at home and I need something on, I'll whack this on. So thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. Happy to have anybody. General quick questions that I'm not going to do the quick fire and then the long explanation and Star Wars. I'm not you and Chris. So, although I have stolen ideas, but that's just how it is. So the couple of questions I wanted to know, which maybe anyone on here, this is geared for, the newer player kind of thing. What would you say are differences or difficulties with doing cross-platform media content creation,
Mm.
because obviously Instagram is way different than YouTube, and you're pretty even on both for like a subscriber count, whatever you want to call it, followers. Hopefully not in back alleys, just on the internet. Be pretty interesting, like 25,000 people just following you everywhere you were going. That'd be
Like, it's really irritating. I've got to shut this door here because they just keep slamming in, knocking on the
yeah.
door the whole time.
Well,
Stop
they
it!
can't even knock. They're just all the mass of people. It's just
Oh, love it. Pressed up against it.
you're.
um,
I can't even get light in through the window. They're just there.
God damn. But yeah, to answer your question, it's difficult to stay on top of both because it, essentially almost doubles your workload when you're like, it's not just, oh yeah, I'll just post the same thing on the short form platform, because different pieces of content work differently in different places. Like the way that thumbnails look is totally different on short form. Yeah, like that stuff doesn't really work on short forms as much. They want it needs to be more real, and like all the polished film stuff that doesn't equal views. In fact, I have a theory that it detracts views to an extent. Like I know some people that are like, oh, I'm thinking about doing some content and I'm going to shoot this on my camera and do blah blah blah. And I'm like, no, 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 no. Just do it on your phone. Just do it right now on your phone. Stop stopping yourself. And yeah, it's just about consistency as well. So
I mean, I
it's
would definitely say that the professional grade looking stuff, I mean, from personal experience, if I was scrolling through and I see something that looks professional, my first thought would be like, it's staged, it's scripted, what's it going to try to sell me? Like,
yeah,
if this looks too professional, it's like, okay, this is a professional group trying to sell me something on something. Like, I mean, use if you've heard of them, Viva La Dirt League. Like, if they put out something, they're like comedian group that puts out like they make fun of like Skyrim and tech stores. Also, they have different stuff that they do, but like if they have something that comes out, I already know, okay, this is a professionally made, like this is scripted, this has production behind it. It's not someone who recorded something. Like if I was on Instagram, I don't want to watch something that's 5-10 minutes long. I want the meat and potatoes immediately, be done with it.
exactly.
And that was the thing that really kept, like, I'm not doing multiple platform. I barely do YouTube. I mean, I've got video log all the way through the end of the year, but like I don't do stuff. Like I'm not going to, I don't know how better to put it. Like I'm not promoting out things. I'm not trying to expand. If people like it, they like it. I think I'm at like 150, 155. So, but
Woohoo.
like, and that's a thing I've wondered, like, do you have to approach it of, I have to record this thing in this way for the short form and then I have to redo all of it? Or is it, as you're doing long form, okay, how can I make sure I have a piece that will definitely work? Or is it you just go through long form and then it's like, this is what's going to fit best. That's what's going to catch somebody. Like, is there an intentional, I have to make sure to alleviate what short form's going to need while recording long form? Like, is there a I have to make sure to do that so that I can use it elsewhere? Or is it just take the best bits out of what's in the big one?
Yeah, that's a great question. And it can be difficult to, decide which to do out of those. And it depends on the video at the end of the day. But mostly for like, say, a standard review, I will I post it on Instagram for the short form, just to say, hey, this is online now. Go and watch the full thing. It doesn't get views. It doesn't get good views at all. Because the way I film things for long form doesn't really work that well when put into short form. It's too zoomed in. It's cropping out all the nice cinematic shots that I've kind of put together. It's just ruined now. And if I like stack it 3 times over or something like that to make it fit, it just doesn't suit the platforms. It just doesn't really
Yeah.
work as well. And that polish playing stuff, like, it's good to be like, oh, here's some sounds. Ooh, you might like this. But in terms of views, it's not great for the platform. The stuff that works better. So an instance of this is I reviewed the Ashdown Studio mini rig recently, and whilst I filmed the long form, I also shot some specific short form stuff that was like shot in portrait, with me in the background and the amp in the forefront, and it was just some playing demos combining it with some pedals, and then I was
Mm-hmm.
able to collaborate with each company, with the amp, with the bass, with the pedals, with to maximize all the views and impact on it.
Sure.
So that was a better strategy than just doing, hey, look at this, and I could do a short form specific cut for it, but again, like you said, because it's all shot professionally, you instantly get this like, oh, is this an ad? Oh no, it's not an ad.
Yeah.
Okay, but what are they trying to sell me in this?
Well, and like you said, one thing that I've noticed is on the short form content, it seems because you said it almost like it was in passing, like, oh, I did this because that. I would venture to say, but not being a short form creator like yourself, I would venture to say that if you're making short form and it's not shot in portrait, it's probably not getting viewed 80%,
Yeah,
because someone's going through and it immediately goes from, okay, here's your phone screen, boom, here's a whole bunch of black bar and just a little bit of video,
yeah,
and then people are like, oh, this
yeah,
isn't what I'm on Instagram looking for Instagram reels. I'm not on Instagram looking for a video, movie review, full review, whatever.
yeah. But
So do you, like, when you know you're going to do both, do you, I know normally you said when we talked about it at NAM that you normally just do like a take of one thing, a take of another, put it together. Have you ever done anything more of like, okay, for short form, like you just said with the mini rig? Have you ever done anything during a regular recording or thought of setting something up like this is going to record portrait of basically the same thing, so I have it? Or is it just you figure it out at the end of, oh, hey, this would have been cool. Well, didn't do that, so
yeah, honestly, I treat them so separately now. Like I don't when I'm recording for the long form, I'm not thinking, right, how am I gonna obviously I turn it into a short form to just be like, hey, look at this. By the way, you can do this or collaborate with the company, and that always helps. But I don't feel I'm not gonna set up my phone to film like a portrait version of something just because that is too much workload. Like that is so much extra work to then go and edit that separately and sort the audio out and do all of that. No, it's too much. So
gotcha.
for me, I'm like, and I know that I having Gregor from Base the World on the podcast recently, which is a brilliant interview. If I
Mm-hmm.
do say so myself, I mean,
Yeah.
I meant Gregor was great, and it gave some insight that they have someone there filming specifically for short form, filming in portrait
Mm-hmm.
there, and if you've got the staff and the manpower to do it,
Yeah.
great.
Big
But that's
difference
the thing.
between 5, 6 people in the room to do a recording than you yourself with your camera set up.
Exactly. And it's enough audio, visual, it's enough stuff and you've got to play and speak. It's enough to think about rather than, oh, an additional element
Yeah.
and a phone, this is only going to film for so long and it's going to stop with the memory. I'm constantly running out of memory. So that's the problem, so I
Yeah.
never do that. If my recommendation to someone, if they want to do one or either or both, if you're doing both, treat them separately, separate strategies, if you like. I call it a
Sure.
strategy. I don't really have a strategy. It's just a consistency, like I try and post every day on short form, and that means that I have to think, oh, what am I going to post today? Oh, some nice pictures, okay, of this base, or
Yeah.
I'll just make a silly video, and things like that, and you can get away with doing quicker, sillier
Yeah.
stuff on there.
Just to
So
remain on people's minds.
exactly, and I just try and treat them separately, essentially.
Because none of the rest of us aren't like Davey 504, who can go on an 8-month hiatus, immediately show back up millions of views as soon as it's out in the first day.
Yeah, I got that retention period. It's like after a week, the algorithm's screwed. I'm like, I gotta post again.
I'm about to say, and like you said, treating them differently, and you said it's just so much. I mean, and so and I think people who like a newer person to this, of course, the majority of the people that like my my outreach is not to people who want to be content creators. It's someone who's a newer bassist that just wants to know, okay, why do I need to do this, or should I learn about that? But I think it's funny because I think most people who haven't done any stretch of content creation, here you go, oh, I don't want to have to set up my phone. That's so much more work. And most of them are sitting there going, it, you, you set your phone, you hit record. Why
Mm.
is, but like from experience, when I do my unboxings and I set up a second, in my case, iPhone at the angle on the tripod to see the box so that as I'm opening it, people can see what I'm opening. That alone takes a video of the last two that I did. I think were only a 6-minute video because it was
Mm.
literally one of them was, I don't, oh, well, you can't see it right now. Let me turn my iPad right there, that close. So of course those ship neckless. The neck is unattached. So of course there's not like a hold it up and play on it a little bit. It's,
Yeah.
well, there
Oh,
it is. Hooray. So like that one was like 6 minutes, but on a video for a review, when I do it, it's okay, hi, I'm me, blah blah blah, intro. Here's the bass. Here's the things I think about it. Here's the rating. And I'll have like the overlay at the end where the box pops up. Here was my score, because I usually don't remember what I score things, even though I have it on a screen. I'll have it on a screen in front of me, but if I talk more than 10-15 minutes, the screen turns off, and then it's like, I'm pretty sure this got a 17 somewhere in here. It's right there,
something like
which I stole from you with the weighs so many pounds. But like I go through and I do that, and that might take, not counting rendering, that might take 5 minutes, 10 tops to edit of. But I use the iPad for everything, and I use
that.
the iMovie. So if I add an overlay, I have to render the entire video.
Oh, I see.
To I have a program, an audio editing program that I found, that the developer actually gave me a free lifetime copy because he wanted to know what I did, and I was like, I use your program literally just for your AI noise suppression. I take all the audio, I throw it in, I do AI noise suppression. The only problem is the AI noise suppression hates bass. I
Oh, yeah.
cannot have any playing. I the first time I tried, I had it. I had some. It was a video I'd done some playing in, and I hit noise suppression, thinking it's going to be like a noise gate, just the
Yeah.
in the background goes away, and I get done. And it's
Yeah.
it's like, oh, well, that's awful. And
Yeah.
I told the developer, I was like, so your thing hates music, especially low register. And they were like, well, you could try this. They have like a vocal analyzer that will just pull out what it notices as voice and set it on its own track.
Yeah.
I was like, I just use it to suppress background noise. So I have to get anything without playing, save that, throw it into the program, let it render, put it back into the video, use iMovie to add the audio back in. The intro and outro for my stuff is 10 seconds of playing, so I can't have that in when I do the suppression section. So, I mean, again, 5-10 minutes to do a review video worth of editing, unless I have like a lot of audio or video overlays. But then to do, like you had said, just to have the second phone, you've got to sync them up because you don't want like your box to be closed while on the other screen you're like, yeah, look at this thing, isn't that nice? And then now you've opened the box, so you've got to sync it up. And then, okay, do I need that second video like how we are right now, two different, a split screen? Okay, well, do I need people seeing my wonderful ironing board table that has the case on it? Well, no, because now I'm holding
Oh,
the
yeah.
base to me, so now that can go away. I mean, that adds double.
Yeah.
And of course people who know math are like, well, two cameras double the work. Yeah, but it's like, it's double the work, but it takes like 3 times as long. It took 10 minutes to edit a 6-minute video, and that wasn't me watching the video if I messed up on something, I messed up. Whatever. I don't care if the cat was in the background crawling on the wall. I don't need to worry about that.
That's staying in. That's a bonus.
But
So going back to that the audio enhancer, or I assume that's what it is. Is it enhancing? It's removing background noise, but it's
mhm.
also tightening up your audio in terms of sound quality, I assume.
I don't use it for that. I literally take the audio out of the video, throw it into the program, and say suppress noise, suppress
Uh,
just white noise.
yeah.
And then when it's done, like I don't even listen to it.
Mm.
I'm just waiting for the day that one of the videos, like 9 months after I recorded it, someone puts a comment of, for some reason I can't, like, you got all choppy in your audio halfway through, and it's gonna be like, oh well, I don't even have that bass anymore. I'll put in the comments what I'm pretty sure that I said, but
Yeah.
I mean,
So I use the Adobe like their enhance their podcasting enhance
oh no,
tool, and it's
everything.
incredible. But yeah, you cannot put sounds like you're banging like a big acoustic guitar behind you. Bong, bong.
Yeah, that's because the microphone is attached to a boom pole, which is attached to my grand piano. So you're hearing that's the resonance of the piano through the. I don't have one of those, like, whatever they're called, the bracket that actually holds a microphone to keep it
Mm.
suspended to stop the arm noise. I don't have that. I might. Yeah, that thing, whatever that's called.
Yeah, it's just a boom arm. Mac
Well,
version.
I have the boom arm, but I've seen the ones for like the condenser microphones that basically have it like, I don't know, it almost looks like rubber bands that hold the microphone in place, and it's to help isolate from stuff. And the other thing was the bass hitting the boom arm. The yeah, that.
Oh, I've got lights on. I've got two of these boom arms, and one my light is on another attached to my desk, and it's constant like bang 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 like hitting
Yeah.
against everything. But
My light is on the same kind of fancy tripod that you brought to Nam. I ended up that the one you showed me. I ended up
oh, nice.
grabbing it. So and the one I got was $5 more, and it came with, I think it's a 12-inch ring light.
Ooh,
So I've never
hashtag
used the tracker.
influencer.
It's just set there.
Yeah,
See?
yeah, that's cool. There we go. Non-tracked. Oh yeah, I see it. With audio. So, and that's the other thing, because say you wanted to record your bass separately so you can hear it, so you can hear the bass like going through a DI or something. That's doubled your editing time then, because you're having to snip every single clip of you talking and mute where the bass is playing. Like every single production element just brings in a whole new difficulty, challenge,
Yeah.
should we say?
Well,
Challenge.
that's for those of you who actually play during their reviews. I
Mm.
I don't do that.
I want. Is that a goal eventually? Do you think?
I don't know. I don't know.
I like to
I
think it
do
is.
I do the reviews, but then I think I'd have to look at my list of what comes out when. I think it's like once a month, once every 2 months, something like that. I'll have a video that comes out that will have like the four most recently reviewed basses. I play the same super simple licks with each one the way I would set it up. So they all sound similar, almost
Mm.
identical, and they're DI'd directly into the Focusrite. So there's a video that just shows like what bass it is, the signal chain I'm using, which is my wireless transmitter into the Focusrite, and then what songs in order I'm playing in case I play Seven Nation Army so poorly that no one knows what it is. Then they know that's what it's supposed to be.
Played Six Nation Army instead.
Yes, yes, it was missing 13% of what should have been there, but it's fine.
Quick
It was
math.
good enough.
Nice. Yeah, because I was about to recommend something. If you wanted a quick and easy way to record stuff, and this is a handy tool for anybody, like any content creators that want to, like record themselves playing live as well to get decent audio from their gigs, or if you wanted to use that audio and apply it to some demos. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to grab it from underneath.
One, two,
All right.
three, four, five.
is.
6, 7, 400% the budget allotted.
This tool here on the end of my pedal board is the TC Electronic wiretap. People love these things, and I am one of them.
There we go.
There we go. Hello.
You were mirrored. Now they can read what it
Oh,
says.
amazing. There we go. Oh, yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
And you have a D'Addario hat rather than an Orion D'Addario.
I always thought it was called Diodario, but apparently my pedal board tells me otherwise.
Yeah. They started doing that not too long ago, and I always used to say it D'Addario, and then I remember one day I was on their website and I saw the Dairy. Oh, like, oh, well, that was like the what are they? I don't know where they're out of. Maybe Korea. The company Hyundai, and then
Yeah.
they had a
Hyundai.
they had a whole string of ads. Remember, it's Hyundai, like Sunday. And I was like, well, call all of us stupid
Wow.
without actually saying we're stupid.
We still do not say that at all.
Well,
It's Hyundai.
I mean, y'all also have Jaguars, so we have that.
No best.
As Clarkson would say, I drive a Jag.
A Jag. Well, that's why I've got a Jaguar bass, because I'm like, my Jag. I was tempted to take off the UA on the end and just have Jag, like the Mark Hopper's signature Jag. So
There
much
you
better. But this pedal, this is
Wiretap.
essentially a recording device.
Does
that
it go
just-
to 11?
I'm afraid it does not. It doesn't even go to 1.
Oh,
It's just
put
one.
put a list of numbers in a little line just on the
Right.
stop button. Look at this.
Whoa, it's infinite. But yeah, it's just you just press it, it records, then you just use the mini USB on the side, and
Is it USB mini or is it micro?
it's mini.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, because these are old. These are not in production anymore, so you can only get them secondhand. So yeah, that is a pain. I had to try and fish out a cable, which I did have.
Yeah.
But yeah, pain in the bum.
Old PlayStation 3 charge cable for those who don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's that mid 2000s era.
Was started by
kind of thing.
Motorola. I could get into a whole history on that from when I sold phones for a long time. But yeah, it was originally Motorola's cable, and then everyone else. It was easy to make. So
I see. Makes sense, I guess. And now we're just USB-C for the rest of time, hopefully.
probably not.
Speaking of USB-C, this whole pedal board is powered by a battery, which is USB-C. It's pretty cool. So I'm holding it in my hand now, and I can just go, ta-da, it's alive. Woohoo!
So I see the wiretap. I'm pretty sure I saw the Kamos.
No, this is not. It's
Or
not
is
the
that the
Kamos,
anagram?
actually. It's the anagram.
Does it have the Kamos built in?
You could make the Kamos technically if you put the Alpha Omega, and it's got all 3 of the octavers as well. So you could technically make it. You can't do any. It's
I'm
got
guessing you
smarter
could
routing.
program enough.
Yeah, to get pretty close.
I just remembered when you or well everyone that's reviewed it at this point. I remember seeing it, and because when you were going through and you were like, "Look, we've got the octavers, we've got the drives," and I was like, I was watching. I paused the video a couple times. I was like, "I see Alpha. Okay, no, I don't see one that says or a knockoff of the name Kamos." So, wait a minute.
No, they don't have like everything that they do in terms of the names of them, and all like the pedals are all like the small version, so it's like the Omicron instead of the full Alpha Omega, which has got the EQ on it. And that's just to save CPU and to make it
and plus
easier.
you don't want to have 5 different pedals that all have an EQ built in, and then it's like, well, I've already done an EQ. I guess all of these are set at noon.
Exactly that. So it's quite handy to have all of those built in. But yeah, it's a great unit. This and the Kamos, both latest releases from Dark Glass are fantastic. I think they do some really good utilitarian tools.
I was really interested when the Kamos, like when we saw it at NAMM. Of course, I was walking around trying just to help record stuff and nowhere near trying to create anything of content myself. And then, like, after seeing the Kamos and you guys all having had it and reviewed it, like, the only one who said it, and I 100% agree. Like, I was going to buy one. I don't have any pedals, like none.
Mm.
I was going to buy one, and then Patrick Hunter's review, he said, I love everything about this, but if I was to give a criticism, there's no octave up. And I was like, well, that I heard Octaver, and my immediate thought was, okay, it's dark glass. It's everything programmed. It can go however many up or down.
Mm.
Because I was going to buy one because at our church we don't have anyone who like plays electric guitar. So if we were to want, and we've talked a few times, like certain songs would sound better if they were more full, but we don't have anyone who's there. Like we don't have strings, we don't have anything like that. That's all handled by the person on the keyboard.
Mm.
But it would be nice, and I've thought about, like, if I got one that had an octave up, at least then when whomever is playing bass plays, it'll fill it in that higher register. But then I saw that didn't have it, and I was also like, I just really wanted to get one and give it to the like 65-year-old guy who doesn't use pedals, and then
Yeah.
be like, here,
See?
stomp on that, and then all of a sudden all the overdrive in the world kicks in the middle of, As the Deer, or some super slow soft song that just needs filled prettily.
Yeah.
Brrr. Yes, that's what we needed.
Like that. The
Just like that.
the best pedal that does all three of those, I think, is the TC Electronics Sub and Up. I used to have one back along. They do a mini version as well. Actually, I don't know if it's still in production, but that was a great pedal that you could. It was 4 knobs. It was octave down, 2 octaves down, octave up, and then a mix knob, I think, for your clean. So everything you'd want out of a very simple octaver that allows you to do everything, and it didn't cost crazy money. So that was
There
pretty
is a
cool.
mini. There's a mini one. It has 3 knobs. And that one runs about 80. Looks like the knobs are sub, up, and dry.
That's right. So it doesn't. So the mini one doesn't have the second octave down, which the big one, which is only like £80, I'm seeing here on my end, is has the second octave down as
Yeah.
well.
I'm
But
seeing that the mini one's like 80, $90, and the other's like 120. So
yeah, so not breaking the bank for. I mean, that is still a lot of money to some people, but like it's not Kamos level of
yeah, I think those are
octave,
like
but
450 here.
yeah, which is a lot for that kind of effect, I would say. But yeah, mad stuff. If anyone wants to see my review of the Kamos, go over to my channel and check it out. It's a very, very cool pedal. And I'm going to be doing another build of my pedal board tomorrow, I think, after today's gig. I'm going to move some things around, put the Kamos back on because it's so good. So good. I've used it live. Sounds amazing. Big
I
fan.
would say it looked fun. It looked like a thing that would be quite interesting to try out. But every time every time I start looking at pedals, I just tell myself, well, I don't have any. I tried one. I tried one pedal after Lobster got the microcosm. I was like, that's so cool. So and then I went on, I think Musician's Friend had a used one for like 300, or it was like way cheaper than they normally were. I was like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. All the cool stuff that she does with it, like I'm not going to be that good, but I was like, so if I just play a little thing, it's going to fill it in, and that'll be really. And then I got it, and I don't know if you've seen one. There's about 800 buttons, 305 switches. There's a knob that turns endlessly, and I don't think there's an end to the settings because it has like a ring of LED lights around the knob, and as you keep turning, like I think it was like changing colors. It was indicating that it was at
Yeah.
another bank. And I was just, I, I, I tried. I got a picture of what Leah had when she was showing it at one point. I tried setting all of the settings the same way,
Yeah.
and then I tried playing stuff, and it just no, that was way above my pay grade. I sent it back, and I was like, you know what? I just need a pedal that has an on off. Just I need
Good,
like an
bad.
I just need an octave up pedal, an octave down pedal. I'll string them together and just
Yeah,
on off. That's it.
yeah.
I
Uh,
mean, but like this, I can play all I want to if I push the volume knob in, because it's all the way up and that volume knob's in. I already took the battery out. It's only passive.
nice. That's how he likes it. Oh, I've got
Absolutely.
a video I'll be doing soon. Hang on. Da-da-da-da.
Aha!
Dibble.
On a four string, I see.
Indeedy, indeedy. It'll be going on my Hofner Ignition very thin bass, which is a semi-hollow. So I'm going to be whacking those on there and doing a video on that.
Another string company I've found out about recently and have when I got that
Whoa! When did you get that?
a few weeks ago.
Oh my god, I'm so jealous. I want a D-Rock badly.
That video, trying to think, December. That was the soonest I had a slot. So, seven,
That's wild.
6, 7 months from now, I only release one a week. So,
You
take
could be
take.
if you're. How often are you filming videos in a minute?
I do the unboxing, and then I wait at least 3 weeks, and now I could basically wait 6 months before I actually do the review. That was the thing I set out for, was I did not want to do an unboxing and then immediately do like a first impressions review video, because
Mm,
you've got as you've got to find out what you think of it, warts and all. Like,
yeah. For
so.
you, like if you've got that much content in the bank and there's like say there's new I mean, I'm guessing you're not afraid to move things around in terms of
Oh,
scheduling.
it's a
Like
pain in the ass, but I'll do it.
so if like a hot release comes out and you're like, "Oh, I need to get a video on this now." You
Yeah,
know.
but unlike you guys who have folks who send you stuff to try out, like anything I would get would have to be a purchase.
Mm,
So it's not like I could have just moved stuff around to do an anagram video. Like, I would have had to pay the like $1,500 to buy an anagram to then do it.
mm,
And that budget is tapped for the year. Like, I've
yeah.
the that was the last purchase of this year, except for a couple of customs that I've already paid for one to come in, and then there's another one being made that the person making it flat out said, I do not take money up front. I wait until it is done and you see what I've done, and then you
Oh,
tell me if you want it when it's done. So
wow.
that one, and then those are both, well, one of them is from Lignum Art, the same ones who made my Eins, my white one
Hmm.
that you tried. This one
Yeah.
will be, I think, a 36 to 33, instead of the 32 to 30. And then the other one, I think he said he's just going to do like a 34 and a half to a 33, for the other one. And those are both, Lignum is out of Croatia. The
Yeah.
other gentleman, I'm not sure where he's out of, but I know it's Europe. And then I found a guy who lives near St. Louis who has a channel, and his whole thing is teaching people to make their own guitars. So, and he's constantly
I
like,
wish I
you
could do
don't.
that.
He's like, you don't need. Oh, I'll send you a link to his channel. He'll use a couple of hand tools and like a hand like he's like, if you want to know what to buy, buy a table router, and then buy a regular router, and that's 90% of the stuff done. If you and he teaches like even using crappy woods, like not the best stuff, and he just, here's how, and then he gives the guitars that he builds away. So it's really interesting. He's
Wow.
supposed to get back with me like in August. He's booked through August building stuff, and then he's going to try and do one with me. But he's in St. Louis. That's an hour and a half. That's nothing for a drive.
Nothing.
So except for those, like the whole budget for buying stuff to do is tapped.
Mm.
But like, no, like the one, there is a bit, I don't think that video's out yet. I'd have to look at my list. There's one that I did reach out to people. I saw them at NAM, but there was other stuff going on around them, and there was like one person at the booth, and they had like two or three people talking to them. So it wasn't I'm going to stand here and wait to talk to those guys, but they had a headless multi-scale that was about the same price range as the Court Space 5. So it was multi-scale while still being headless. And I ended up reaching out to them a couple months after NAM, and I was like, hey, I saw what you had. I've seen people who've done reviews. Like, I'm interested, but like my channel's like nothing. So like I have 100, I think then it was like 120 people. So it was like, I am not anyone who's going to help further your business, but, and then I sent them the links to like all the others. Like, I think I even sent them yours. I was like, I know these folks. Like, if we Jerry chain this from one person to the next, like, if they're interested, like, I'm not saying my review is going to help you, but if like Bully, Lobster, you, like these people who have decent followings, big followings, like maybe they would actually be of help, but I would like to at least see it, and then I'll see it first. I'll have it sent back to me last, so that once the reviews are done, like if someone's taken a chunk out of it or whatever, I was like, I'll pay for it and then just buy it if it's not. And they were like, oh well, I mean, we're used to stuff coming back not in the greatest of shape if it's been sent around. But they sent me one to try, so that one I ended up putting earlier, close.
What
When
was
I
that?
had the
Sorry.
uke, they sent me one.
No, what you didn't say what brand it was.
I didn't, because I don't know if that video's out.
Oh, I see. It's that. It's
I
secret.
don't. And well, it's not like when you had the anagram and you were teasing Chris, if I've got a thing and the video's going to come out and I can't tell you what it is. And I'm guessing it was the anagram anyway, because it was like a couple days later your anagram video was out, but maybe.
I think so.
But I don't. There are others who've had the base that should have a video releasing, and I don't want to say what it is and then their video come out and wind come out of their sales for it, so to say. Because I know someone, the second person to get it, has gotten it and said their video should be out on it soon. But I don't know when mine is. It might be this month. It might be next month. I don't know.
Send me a private message. I wanna know what it is. Exciting.
Yeah. I mean, I believe you were in the chat where I asked if anyone wanted to try it.
I don't read that chat. Who do you think I am?
Well,
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
It's in the chat. Not this chat. Bully. Ooh. I love that Kamos pedal though. Yeah, I would suspect.
Hell yeah! I haven't
Whoever's at
watched
the next
Bullies.
base house is responsible for bringing all of the fun stuff.
Oh, dude, I took the Kamos to the Birmingham Guitar Show this year, which is kind of like, I call it Birmingham because it's like the UK's NAM, but like, 10% of the size of NAM. And it's
That sounds nice though.
It's
That
fantastic.
sounds so much more manageable. Like, you don't
And
have to
it's
go 3 days and then find out, in my case,
Yeah.
on the third day that it's like, oh, did you know there's a downstairs?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the same.
I mean, the upper floors were kind of useless if you didn't have appointments and stupid stuff, but whatever.
The
So dumb.
yeah, I hate that. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, the Birmingham one, like, and there was a whole bass room upstairs, was just bass.
I
and
watched
it
your
was
video.
so
That
good.
was so nice. Like,
So good.
NAM
Thank you
will
for
never
watching.
do that. NAM will never do that because, like, they have the whole section that's all like mute wind instruments and like
Yeah.
band stuff, like high school band, and then they have the like different ethnic instruments which, I mean, Bully and I walked over there and we're walking around looking at stuff over there too, but I kept trying to get him to like pick up instruments that aren't supposed to be, and then try and get him to pick them up and do slap on them. Like, that's
Will it
sitar.
slap?
That sitar over there. Give it a shot.
Yeah, go on. See, that would have been amazing content. I'd love to see that.
It would have
Bully,
been fun.
next time.
There
we're
we
doing
go.
Nice. Well, and for those that don't know, that that GIF music base is the one that I had, and it is now in your possession, right there. So,
It was
a
fun
pleasure, a
because
pleasure doing
the
biz.
action, I fixed the action.
Good.
I had to shim the neck.
Wow.
I
And
pulled the
that's
neck.
an awkward one to shim, I imagine.
That bolting helped though, because having like the straight line across the bottom, I was able to get it loosely in there and then add the shim, just kind of push it down. And at one point I had it where the shim was too much. So it was like there was never going to be any way to raise the action enough. And
Yeah.
in this case it's I think 75% up now instead of being dropped all the way. But
And for those that don't know, a shim is essentially, this is some that I bought on the internet, is a way of you, if you have got really high action on your base and you've absolutely decked the bridge, but it's still super high. This is a way of essentially raising these are the strings, and this is your fretboard. It goes underneath the body and the neck like this and pushes it towards. Yeah, you can use whatever to put in there.
I just used two very wide guitar picks that I don't use anymore.
They sell, like, I think those are from Amazon, and you just put it in here, in between the neck and the body, and it essentially pushes. It reduces the gap between the body and the strings. Sorry, the neck and the strings. So I've only had to do it on one bass before, and so I've got those to hand.
They work
But
because they change the angle of the neck in relation to the body.
yes, yes, that was a better way of explaining it. It's getting in a bit of a muddle. But yeah, there we go.
And a little goes a long way, because you got to think that if the point is at the neck pocket and it's all the way at the end of the headstock, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because like these look super thin, but these are thick, like they make a big difference. And I
Oh
put the
yeah.
biggest one in, being like, oh yeah, I need a lot, and was like, oh no, that's
Yeah.
not right
Well,
at
like
all.
I said, I just put two of those extra wide guitar picks right at the base of it, and those are, I think, .73s. So you got to think that as they're more narrow, it's compressing into the wood better. And that
Mm.
was, again, that took it from what it was when I'd gotten it from you, and it was bottomed and the action was still super high. I had to put the action to about 75% up so that it wasn't causing buzz. So it was like if I'd had .5s, I think would have been the best. But then
Although
again,
what?
my wife does 3D printing, so I could have just had her print me a
Yeah.
shim.
Oh, it'd be perfect. That'd be ideal.
We've
There's a little
done,
business. Shim,
but say
shim
I've
me,
printed,
shim
yeah.
job. There you go.
There you go. I've had a couple where like a nut has broken, like a plastic nut has broken on an instrument, and we just
Yeah.
3D print a new one. I found a CAD program where you tell it what strings, what gauge, how wide, and then it calculates it all out for you.
Yeah.
It's great.
That is very cool. Speaking of action, I've noticed recently that is a realization I've had is that I used to go like, oh, I need a low action, as low as possible. Lower is better. But I'm realizing nowadays that for my playing style, that like actually low isn't great for me. I don't like a lot of my favorite basses to play. If I'm playing with a pick, primarily with that bass, I can't have it with a super low action just because I
Yeah.
play so hard, especially with the basses that I gig in the bands at the moment. I play so hard with my right hand with the pick that if you have a super decked action, it's just going to bottom out and give you loads of buzz. So my Gibson G3 that I've got now, when I got it, I was like, oof, woof, the action on this, don't know. It's quite high. Played it, it's perfect. Perfect. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I've had I so when I get an instrument, since I almost always the first thing I do after the unboxing is I take it to my table and I swap the strings to the
Mm,
D'Addario. So like as soon as you do that though, the D'Addarios, the tapes, they have low tension compared to if you had something with flats. I
mm,
think I want to say the tension on tapes versus flats. Flats have like an additional 40 to 80% of the tension. So I've had instruments that I've gotten that I'd put flats on that I then switched to tapes, and it's a full setup.
Yeah.
because I mean I've even had to have, I mean, if you go from low to high tension or high to low, truss rod's going to need a little bit of adjusting just because it's fighting that bowing,
Boeing,
and not
like
the
the plane.
planes that fall apart in the air. Yeah, no, they're not fighting those. They fight themselves, or they fight air, and air wins. But no, it is a thing where I've noticed. Like I used to, as soon as I was doing the setup, it was play, raise the action. As soon as there's not fret buzz from a fret, oh, that's it. And then I've come to realize if that's what you want, then when weather changes happen, you're affected immediately. If your temperature, humidity changes where that neck moves slightly, okay, you've got buzz everywhere because you have it as low as possible. So I've usually ended up setting it and then adding half or a full mil,
Yeah.
just so I know, because as long as I'm not trying to play and I'm literally feeling the travel of the string as I'm playing, I don't care. I don't care if the action's high. Again, like you said, like if you play it and it feels comfortable, why do I need to change it?
Yeah. Exactly
That is
that.
why I
And
pulled the neck off that gear for music and shimmed it though, because it was oh my goodness.
yeah,
I That thing
well,
traveled a centimeter before I even got it to the next note.
yeah. And it was high-ish when I had it. It might have changed a little bit in transport. But for me, I didn't have a huge problem with setup from memory. In terms of it being like sky high, like it wasn't an amazing setup out of the box, but like I didn't really change all that much about it just because I was like, yeah, this works, and I'm playing it hard.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm playing it hard. But some bases I'll have like I'll know that this isn't going to be a gigging bass that I'm going to like play really hard on. So I'll have the action lower. It's just kind of to taste on base what you want out of the instrument. Um, but yeah,
absolutely.
but yeah. And what was I going to say? Oh yeah. I wondered. You said about not having uh, pedals at all, and biting off more than you can chew a little bit with with the microcosm. Is that what it was?
Oh yeah, yeah. That
Um,
was way above my pay grade.
it's that's I don't know many people that would be able to have that in their pay grade because that is the kind of pedal that really puts me off. Like I even don't deal that well with multi effects. I'm a big HX Stomp user. I can't get on with using it live because I
No.
hate "Oh, press this, oh change
Well,
this, and then
like
like save that. No,
everything you were showing in the anagram, like, and not the least of which being that I'm trying to scroll and I'm picking up effects and moving them. As soon as that happened to you the first time on accident, I was like, oh, I'm not getting that.
yeah,
I'm
I
not.
have had a couple of bugs since with like things like that, or like when I'm playing with headphones because I did a really deep dive on it a couple of nights ago before my gig today because I used the anagram, or my plan was to use the anagram. Um, however, uh, when I kept turning it on and off when I was moving it around, it would all of a sudden the headphones would go into excuse me, it would start splitting the signal in between my ears, almost like it was in stereo. And I was like, oh, well, hang on, no, hang on, what's it? And I'd turn it on and off again, or change preset, change back, and it would change back to being like mono. And I was like, what is going
Hmm.
on? So some bit of weirdness in that. I haven't updated it. Let that be said. So I do need to give it an update to see if they've fixed some bugs.
I'd
But
gotten. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that, yeah, that it's not super easy to move things
Yeah.
along. And I needed to do that when playing live today. And yeah, I instantly was like, yeah, I don't know if I can use this live in combination with other things.
Well, and I mean, again, like basses, I prefer passive so I can set it and forget it. And I see that, and as you were going through it, like, okay, if you click on this one time, it does this. If you click on it two, no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Like
That's the thing.
even the Kamos, like when I've seen just a short, I think even your video where you didn't like, okay, if you turn this and knob and tap and switch and all, like you didn't do like a huge dive into it. You're like, here's some things that I've done that sounded cool. I saw that and I was going, no, that's
So
too much.
So that pedal, I think, makes sense to me and in my brain because it's tactile as well. It's just super easy to do. Whereas with something like that's got presets or super digital, it takes that instant like gratification you get from twisting a knob and like changing something very quickly
Yeah.
to I've got to find it, I've got to get to it. It just
Yeah.
like we were saying about adding the extra element of a camera, which sounds simple, but it just adds so much to the process. And when you
Yeah.
need to change things on the fly, which I am often doing, that doesn't fly
Yeah.
on
Well,
the
like
fly.
I have the Positive Grid Spark 2, and you can program
Mm,
and name all of your things, and then it has like 4 or 8 hardware presets where you can save it, and then you can have the amp turn a knob and it shows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So as long as you know, oh, okay, when I'm playing Come As You Are, I have the flanger in there, the whatever echoes and all that reverb. I've got everything set up. I know that is going to be here. I mean, feasibly, you could even, if you're doing like an 8 or fewer.
Ooh,
Okay, I am sideways now.
do you want me to join? Just
I'm confused how that happened because all I did was move my hand, but whatever. So I'm over here now. I don't know if this is going to help us. Nope. I just got bigger sideways.
I wonder if you pick your iPad up and give it a manual like
Well,
movement
that's
if
my
it's not on the lock.
concern. Yep, that was the concern.
Bang, bang,
Well,
bang.
that seemed
Rest in
to
peace,
do
iPhone users.
whatever that was. That did it. I'm okay. Well, now I can't see the chat.
Well, what about? Sorry, what if you turn the
Oh,
auto screen directional
well,
lock
that's the thing.
off?
Like, I didn't touch anything, so I
Yeah,
don't
that
know.
that is strange. But I wonder if it would
Stay.
just like reset it
It's
to
trying
do
to
that.
tell me that it's all that I've been on for an hour. That's what happened. My wife is using witchy voodoo in the other room to stop the recording. But anyway, like I see the on the Spark 2 feasibly, if you were doing a set of 8 or less songs, you could even go through and take those song settings, program them to 1 through 8, and
Yeah,
then I'm on song 1. As soon as you're ready for song 2, switch it to the next song. Like that is something that would make sense to me. But going in and setting just the settings for a choice, I went through, I tried doing everything to make like a good just plain bass tone, and then it finally dawned on me that I can turn off the amp simulator, all of the effects. So I literally just have the noise gate to cut out any buzz from
yeah.
like the wireless transmitter, and then that's it. It is a modeling amp that I'm using just as a straight DI, which
See,
is dumb, but like
being able to have like multiple presets for songs just doesn't work for me because I'm a tweaker. So like I'll turn up
mm,
and be like, this doesn't sound quite right. Okay, I'll tweak the presence or the treble on that, or I'll tweak the drive on that. If I had to do, then I'd have to do that for every single preset if I had it for songs. And I'm not playing things that are like wildly different. Like it's very consistent sound. And as bass players, it's not like guitar where I'm gonna need a flanger for this song. Oh, this needs a chorus. This one, like I feel like majority of bass players aren't having to deal with that change. It's just having like a solid, consistent sound and maybe the odd on-off effect, but it's not like mass changes to sounds
sure,
that guitarists do so much. I'm speaking very broadly there. Some people will be doing that, absolutely, and that's fine. I'm not saying it's right and wrong. I'm just saying most bread and butter bass players will be doing that, and that's where I fall into it. And so I'm going to rebuild my board, just going fully back to analog, which I was before adding the anagram. But yeah, that's where I'm at the minute.
yeah. And that's the thing for me. Like I look at the pedals and I'm like, for one, money. Like, am I going to want to go through and buy 15 different pedals to try them out? And if I don't
Mhm.
like them, I can return them, of course. But I don't like being that person either. The person who's buying a whole bunch of stuff just to return it because it wasn't what I wanted.
Sure.
But on that same note, like I do everything as boringly as possible. Where I use a modeling amp as a DI. I plug into my DI. I have the it hasn't. I think I've talked about it, but it's the video for it's like October. I have a Glenn Hughes edition of an Orange Crush 50, And the only reason I have it is because it's purple, and my
Yeah.
wife absolutely hates it. Her favorite color is purple, but it says orange on it, and she just can't get over it.
Ah.
But I have it, and literally everything's set to noon except for one thing, and I don't remember what that knob is. But when you turn it on, it gets like overdrive or whatever like that. So that's turned off, and that's it. Like I don't add effects. I don't care. Like again, I just need an octave down pedal, an octave up pedal that turn on and off. That's all I would ever just to. I'm not gonna do effects, but so I don't expect ever to do anything with pedals like any like how I think you said it best when you'd said that that pedal makes sense to you. None of the pedals make sense to me. Like I started as a guitarist and an electric guitar, and I had a Line 6 Spider 3 amp, and it had like the 18 built-in effects. And yeah, I played with those, but it was literally how far do I turn this knob for the reverb to kick in?
Yeah.
If you go past this line now, instead of using a flanger, you're using a phaser. Like
Yeah. I
that's
know the one.
those made sense to me because it was okay, hey, cool, that's how that works. Pedals are just way it's the same thing, but it's in its own box and it's got multiple knobs to worry about. That no, it's good.
So my recommendation for any beginners to pedals, I suppose that's a good topic segue, is
Next time
to
you're on, we'll cover it in depth.
yeah, big
We'll
time.
go deep.
Because I'm a big pedal guy.
Yeah,
I love pedals. My interest goes basses, pedals, amps by that order. Like heads then cabs. You know, like it's literally the signal chain. My interest diminishes.
mine goes bass,
Everything
DI.
cable.
Is this a good DI? Wireless transmitters. How good of those?
Ooh, yeah, they are good. So you know, whether it's just like something simple that's like always on stuff that it's set and forget, like a compressor, a noise gate, all these things that you said that you kind of use noise gates and things like that. Some of your sounds you can get that in pedal format. That's super simple. You can get ones that are just one knob, more please, threshold. That's it. Which is all I would really want
Sure.
on a noise gate. But and getting things that are just very simple and not overcomplicated. I think that is a good gateway into pedals. Just getting stuff that makes sense to you, and that you'll actually use. Because then you'll get to a point where you're like, oh, well, I can't not have this pedal anymore. Like there are certain standards now, not as in like, oh yes, I've got a standard. I mean like in terms of quality. I mean like I always have a preamp pedal because I love the sound of it. I very rarely like the sound of just going into the amp. Like when we were at Bass House, that was different, like
Yeah.
totally different. And it sounded great in context there. But when I'm in a band situation, I always
Yeah.
love having a preamp pedal, compression, and then a preamp pedal. That's like, I need that. I love that. But
Yeah.
yeah, and a
Next time you
drive.
next time you happen to be free on this time frame, we can go into pedals, and then I'll just ask questions because I don't know anything about them.
Yeah,
So
that'd be great. Nice little topic there. I'm sure some people
so
might enjoy.
it's been an hour 18, counting the 10-minute. My iPad keeps like wiggling now. I don't know what's going on. So anyway, Johnny, thank you very much for being here. Um, everyone can find you by searching Johnny Dibble. But is there anything you would like to? I don't think. I mean, you have your sign off that you can do, of course. But anything you would like to say to the lovely three people who are watching?
Yes, of course. Yeah, if you haven't already, go and check out my podcast for bass players as well, called In the Pocket. You can just find it, search my name and then podcast, or just search for In the Pocket Bass Podcast, because someone else has taken In the Pocket, which I should have sorted out before, but oh well. And or just click the links in my bios. Should be hard to find if you follow me on the interwebs. But yeah, that's it. And just
And go
subscribe and
to his
follow if
Patreon
possible.
and become a third tier subscriber so you can be cool like me.
Exactly. I always
Yeah.
take great joy in reading out your name every episode. Wonderful. But that is everything from me. Thank you. Thank you so
Fair
much for
enough.
having me.
Absolutely. As always, everybody, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day. It's supposed to switch. There we go.